So this is what we're going to do today. Happy New Year! It's Esther from Carnivore, our Carnivore Chronicles. Okay.
Carnivore Chronicles, that's it.
Carnivore Chronicles, okay. Happy New Year! It's Esther from Carnivore Chronicles, and I'm here to share with you what we're making for New Year's Eve dinner. So it's been a gazillion years since I made a prime rib, and being carnivore, didn't want to make another turkey. We had turkey for Christmas. I thought, geez, prime rib. So I went down to my butcher, and I got this. It's about 5 pounds because it's only 2 of us eating. And what I had the butcher do was trim it back away from the bone like this, so that when it comes time to carving, it'll be a little bit easier. So what you want to do with the prime rib, first step, is take it out of the refrigerator about 3 hours before you're ready to cook it, because it needs to come to room temperature for it to cook properly. So that's the step we're doing right now. We're taking it out of the fridge. I'm going to salt it as much as I possibly can, because it's a big piece of meat and you want to make sure that it's properly salted. And it's good to salt your meat when you take it out of the fridge and let it sit, because the salt does something magical. I can't remember exactly what it is, but trust me, if you Google it, you'll probably find it on the internet. Second step is to tie a string to keep the meat from coming away from the bone while it's cooking. And it's a small roast, so I'm only going to tie one string, and hopefully I can get this without too many troubles. I'm going to tie it. If it was a bigger roast, you want to put 2 or 3, but you cinch it to make sure it's nice and tight. Use your ingenuity, or if you have a buddy, they can pull the string for you. And you cut it, and then set it on the rack. And that's where it's going to cook. But we're going to let it sit for about 3 hours before we cook it, and that's all for now. Hey, we're back. It's been 3 hours. My roast has come to room temperature, so we're ready to put it in the oven. So when you cook a prime rib, you want to turn your oven to as hot as possible for the first 15 minutes of cooking. Let's put a nice sear on the outside of it. So I've already preheated the oven to 500 Fahrenheit. For those of you in Europe like me, it's 260 Celsius. So we're going to do that for 15 minutes, at which point I'm going to reduce the heat to 325 Fahrenheit or 162 Celsius. And then we're going to cook it for, I'm going to cook mine for about 55 minutes. I'll probably start checking the temperature around 45 minutes, because you want to cook it for, I'm going to do mine medium rare, not super rare. You want to cook it for about 13 minutes per pound, and this is a 5-pound roast. So I did some math on my calculator, and that's the number I come up with, about 50 minutes. So I hope that's clear. It might be a little confusing. Instructions will be in the comments. So let's get the roast in the oven. Here we go. Oh, it's super, super hot. And we'll be back in 15 minutes to turn it down. So, forgot to mention something super, super important. Put a little bit of liquid in your pan, because if you don't, when it drips, the fat will smoke. And if you're like us, you have horrible ventilation in your kitchen, you'll be in a smoke screen. So right now, the inside of our house is about 0 degrees because I've had to open all the windows and doors to air it out. But the smoke's under control, and okay, so I think it's been about the right amount of time. So I'm going to take the temperature and see where we're at. Looks good. I'm going for 48.8 centigrade. Ooh, gotta turn it on. And 48.7 here. Check it out. Pretty darn close. And that's temperature for medium rare. We want it pink in the middle, pinkish, but a little bit cooked on the outside. So we're just gonna now let our roast sit for about 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to eat. So wishing everyone a happy roast Happy New Year. I was trying to say something cute, it didn't work.